This is a year 2 review for Helldivers 2. I'm not going into detail about the basics of the game because it is live service. This will be more of an update review. I'm going to start off with the performance. Performance has gotten worse on PS5 since my last review. Playing high difficulty missions, the FPS drops to what feels like 20 FPS when fighting big hordes of enemies. It gets even worse on mega cities, swamps, and jungle planets, which causes crashing if it drops far enough. All these new biome types haven't been properly optimized since they released last year, so they crash more often. We got a new content update with caves, gloom, and rupture bugs that drop the FPS below 20 and crash pretty often, or have teammates randomly disconnect sometimes. Overall performance is really bad and needs big improvements, not just on PS5, but I've seen plenty of PC players having bigger issues with the game damaging their hardware. Next up, the bugs. There's a lot of bugs in the game that affect the gameplay in a real bad way. The 500 kg explosion radius doesn't work right, enemies going through walls and under platforms. Some dead enemies have big invisible hitboxes you can't run or shoot past. Gas and fire doesn't work sometimes. Arc weapons constantly have shots blocked by enemy bodies, rocks, bushes, and plants. In the new update, the Hive Lord can spawn under the oil rig and fail the mission. Bile dragons fly with their wings destroyed. Rupture bugs have aimbot. Bug spawns are broken on some difficulties, which leads to what feels like infinite bug breaches sometimes, even on just level 7. I can go on and on. There's a lot more bugs. Those are just the worst right off the top of my head. So with a combination of all the old and new bugs, gameplay has gotten real annoying to deal with whenever this stuff happens. Next up, the weapons and balance. The weapon balance in the game is a mess right now, but I also know that from leakers, weapon attachments are coming to the game eventually that are basically upgrades for guns. Stuff like armor penetration, fire, gas, and plasma rounds, and explosive rounds. So right now, people are rightfully upset about the balance because it literally makes no sense to have a bunch of crappy weapons and only a few really good ones, because they have no idea all of this stuff is coming and new players are stuck fighting newer, stronger enemies with mostly weak weapons. It also doesn't help that instead of teasing this information to players themselves, Arrowhead has leakers post this information on less popular social media pages. I'll talk about the enemies real quick. Overall, the bugs are fun to fight. They have a wide variety, a lot of different units, but again, the gameplay bugs ruin the fun a lot of the time. Silent enemies, constant patrols, visual clutter with way too much spore effects going on, which also drops frames. As for the bots, I like casually playing bots now. They're fun to kill, a tough challenge that feels good with a coordinated team. My main complaint about the bots is the ragdolling, especially if you want to play a suicide hellbomb build like me. Sometimes you'll get ragdolled and killed by the turrets before even getting up the first ramp. Overall, bots are still fun to fight, but have some drawbacks that I hope Arrowhead can balance out better in the future. And last up, the Illuminate. I haven't played Illuminate since early this year because of how buggy they are, and they've only gotten worse over time. Broken spawns, enemies going through walls, jetpack guys flying to heaven, weird hitboxes for the player against voteless and flesh mobs. There's also some balance issues. The Illuminate roster isn't full, so players have to fight against a bunch of tanky flesh mobs and enemies with bugged armor plates. I don't know, man. The Illuminate are a mess and just unfun to fight. Next up are the mission types. Mission types for the most part are pretty fun, except for the defense and eradicate missions. Defense missions are too boring and take way too long. There's no sub-objectives, no samples to collect, and enemy spawns are really slow. Eradicate missions still feel like an unfinished alpha test and haven't changed since release. You spawn in a tiny area and bugs spawn 5 feet away from you the whole time until you kill them all. For the new cave missions on Hive planets, stratagems you call down in cave openings or near cave entrances might land on the top of the cave or the mountains around it. There's also the oil rig mission that I mentioned earlier that'll fail if the Hive Lord spawns under the vehicle and throws it in the air. And the main thing is there is no dedicated Hive Lord boss fight mission. He shows up every 10 minutes for a couple of minutes, then goes away. It's really annoying to fight and unfun to play against him right now. For the biomes, it's pretty simple. Like I said earlier, all of the new biomes haven't been optimized since they released. Swamps, jungles, mega cities, and the new Hive planets. There's still a bunch of beautiful planets to fight on, and we've gotten back access to more planets in the last year, so it's nice to have some more variety. For the score, I'm giving year 2 of Helldivers 2 a 7 out of 10. Performance on high difficulties has gotten even worse with the new half-baked content. The gameplay affecting bugs are getting out of control. The balance makes no sense, and Arrowhead doesn't keep players informed on certain future content to prevent community frustration like this. Every enemy faction is unique and fun in their own way, but there are either way too many bugs or balance issues that ruin the fun a lot of the time. And every single new biome that they've released since the game released has been half-baked and not optimized to this day. Some of the mission types are half-baked and haven't changed since they released. Even the Eradicate mission that was in the game since release. And the conclusion is, if you're thinking about getting Helldivers 2 right now, I'd say hold up and wait a few months for some major updates, because the game is kind of a mess right now, and Arrowhead isn't really communicating with players or anyone about what's happening and what to expect in the next few months or even the next year. This happens every single year with Arrowhead, ignoring the community, releasing half-baked content, and only when they get a massive amount of negative feedback, they actually put effort in to fix the game, add solid content, and communicate with players.